Hey guys, sorry I haven't been on in a long time. Just busy with family and work and tractor pulling and enjoying a bit of summertime here and trying to keep on top of hobbies and things. Crazy busy. So I thought I'd smash this quick little video together for you to be guys with me so that nobody leaves. I know I've been putting up a few tractor videos lately and I promised some welding, so we got a job in from a customer with a load of pile rig. I'm not too sure of the name of these things, but they're off a big massive pile rig for boring concrete foundation piles. And he wanted the tubes shortened and new ends put onto them. As these drive pieces, you can see the little holes and the slot cut out. They're subjected to insane amounts of torque, and they're in quite a rough site environment. They're getting moved around with cranes and diggers and things, lifted with chains and transported in trucks and forklifts and things, so they eventually get damaged. So yeah, we put them in the lathe, cut the old ends off so that the pipe was nice and square, machined little well prep V grooves, and then also a spigot to align them concentrically. And then yep, down to me in my workshop, put on to my weld rotator, preheated and welded one after the other. There's quite a lot of them to do. Nice little enjoyable job. I always enjoy the rotator because you get to sit on your ass and the machine obviously moves the job for you, so you don't have to move very much, but it definitely keeps you really, you have to be on the ball with your welding, because as the job's moving away from you, you can't really change your speed much. You can't go slower or faster. It's dictated by the speed of the rotator. So here you can see the new end welded on. Next we've got a large hex drive, has to be put on to the end of this smaller tube, and you can see by the size of the hex just how substantial a drive is going through this tube. So these things need to be welded really well. We've used a slightly higher grade wire, and this will ensure a much stronger joint. The really good thing about the rotator is it's a variable speed, so little small pipes, small diameter like this one, you can turn the speed down, and then with big huge diameter pipes, you don't necessarily want to turn the speed up if you're welding the outside diameter. However, if that big large pipe has a small diameter shaft on the end of it, you will need your rotator wheels to turn very quickly in order to turn the large circumference on the outside. One rotation for a very short weld on the stub shaft. So big wheel, small wheel, it's like a gear ratio thing. If you're turning the outside, your rotator wheels need to turn a lot more than what is required to turn the small shaft on the inside that bit quicker, because it's such a short weld. Hard to visualize without an illustration, but yeah, it's so handy having multiple speed or completely variable speed with the rotator. So yeah, we'll just weld on this hex drive, multiple passes, could be 6 or 8 or more. You can see there's at least 3 runs in there, and I would say there will be, so that's 1, 2 over, then 3 over, then 4 over. So add all those together, you've quite a lot of welding. Deceiving how much wire these joints can chew. One thing I'd love to have done, I need about 5 lives to live all the things I would love to do. One thing I would love to have done was be a pipeline welder. You see all the guys running awesome trucks with their own welding rig across America and Canada. You see obviously some horrendous conditions and some great conditions, but yeah, there's a lot of glory in that job and a lot of good money too, I believe. That's one thing I would love to have done just for experience. Stick welding would be my first love, and getting to run a stick outside all day, yeah, I haven't done that since I was a kid in the quarries, and I miss it. So yeah, we're just running a real time weld here, so you can see the actual speed without it being speeded up that the rotator turns at. So you can see how long it takes to do one complete lap around that pipe. And as I said, 1 plus 2 over plus 3 over, so there's 6 runs, plus 4 over, and then possibly another 5 over the top of that. So you can see how it takes a long time to do each of those runs. And if you're a welder, you know the sort of nonsense you daydream about when you're welding. It's great thinking time. And there's the finished article. It should be a nice strong weld, all shined up with the wire wheel. So next we have some stick welding. That was just a little short clip chipping the flux off a joint. I can't actually remember what that was for, but we'll leave it in there anyway. So yeah, that's that pipe finished, and next we'll have some very short adapters on the welding table. I think it's called the welding manipulator. Here they are. You can see how heavy wall that pipe is on a pallet, and it's to be welded onto, or rather the drive piece is to be welded onto it. So lots of preheat in that very heavy wall pipe. Again, when you see how heavy the wall of the pipe is, you can understand just how much torque is going through this thing. It's crazy. So weld needs to be really good. And the 4 holes you see, there's spuds, tapered spuds that screw into those, and they share the drive torque along with those 4 keys that you see. So there's one basically completed. That's another one. We're just chipping off some of the scale between the passes. So yeah guys, thanks for tuning in to this very short video. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you did. Sorry about the chatting, but there was some background music I had to narrate over. So anyway guys, catch you soon.